What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit podcast. As always, we got my man Logan Hyder of Cinema 83 LLC in the house, doing the production, all that fun stuff.
What's good? What's good?
What's up, buddy? And today we have a very special guest for you.
Oh, shit.
Mr. John Iaccheri.
What's up, people?
From Murfreesboro.com.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome.
Hold the applause, please.
Hold on, everybody, calm down. Sit, please.
There you go.
So, John,
Yes, sir.
I've known of John for some time.
Yeah.
Obviously, he runs Murfreesboro.com. I live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
There you go.
And so he does a lot of stuff with local businesses. I'll let him touch on that. But I've kind of seen stuff over social media.
Yep.
And
We've gone back and forth for a while now, you and I.
Yeah.
So, trying to get together with this thing.
crazy schedules and whatnot. And then so finally it was like we got a time lined up for him to come in and sit in on a podcast. It's going to be a little bit different today because this episode is going to go up on two channels, going on Murfreesboro.com and the Relentless Pursuit channel. And obviously I'm going to interview him, or not interview, but conversate with him about his background and everything he's got going on. But he's going to do the same, ask some questions that correlate with his episode. So that being said, John, just quick intro. Just tell us about yourself, what you're doing now, and then we'll take it back.
All right, cool. Well, now, like you said, we run Murfreesboro.com. We have a couple other websites in the works with MountJuliet.com. We got NashVegas.com and a few others. We do some real estate stuff here on the side with SearchMLS.com. Everything we do is digital, everything online. But just trying to, like you're making an impact on this huge level of what you're doing here, and we're just trying to make an impact on a little level.
Hey, man. Hey, man, that the thing is, those small impacts just get bigger and bigger.
That's true, yeah.
And that grows. So I think you're all going to make a huge impact.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
we all start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. All it takes is one person to be hit, and that's
right.
big enough, right?
Yes, sir.
So you got all these digital things going on, and we'll elaborate more on that. But, John, as always, we want the audience to get to know you a little bit. So let's bring it back, man. Tell us where you're from. Tell us your beginnings a little bit, and kind of like, the path that led you to where you are now.
All right. All the warm and fuzzies. I got you. Well, one thing I always love, people, I was born in Alaska. And so people are always like, damn, how cold was it? I get that shit all the time. But it's
a lot of mosquitoes.
Yes. Yeah. When in the summertime and there's lots of little ponds everywhere. And my God, drives you nuts. Alaska's very green in the summer, so lots of mosquitoes and bugs. But yeah, I lived there till I was about 7. And then we moved to Oregon for not even a year. After that, we moved to New Mexico for about 5 years, then New York, and then I ended up here, and right when I started MTSU. So
my guess wrong is your dad in the military?
He actually, we usually get that. It was we have military in our family, but Dad had a big corporate job and moved him around a lot. So we were so many years in each spot, and then they would move him around.
It's quite the variety.
It is, yeah, big U shape across the U.S. there.
That's pretty cool.
But ended up here right before I turned 18, and then just stayed here. Went to MTSU, and coming from New York, it was funny because my dad, hey, we're moving to Nashville. And I was like, country music capital of the world. What the hell are we doing? My God. And we were here for 2 weeks, and I loved it. Like, you're on me. I'm never leaving. This is home.
Dude, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Middle Tennessee, man. This is where I'm meant to be.
Oh, yeah.
And so I totally get you there. Where'd you major in?
Actually, you're going to laugh. I was a double major in psychology and criminal justice. I was going to go work for the FBI, and I took the test and everything for the FBI. And then, but what happened, long story short, I jumped into kind of the internet thing, quote unquote, a little bit. And I used to wait tables in college, and I made more money in a week than I did in 2 months of waiting tables. And I thought, well, there's something to this. And so I just kind of put the FBI thing to the side, decided to dive all in, and then kind of that was the whole. Yeah, that's a 30,000 foot overview.
Yeah, and then at the time, that starting off in the FBI, you're not making a whole lot. I know. What's funny is, so I wanted to do something like that when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah, and I went to school for criminal justice, and then. Well, I went through some addiction issues, and I was like, I'm going to be the great FBI agent. I went to, when I first went to college, I just thought it'd be cool. I don't know. I'm thinking like James Bond type shit. Yeah. I just want to do that one day, So just a weird way of thinking, man. Honestly, I didn't really know what I wanted to do ultimately, but long story short, my dad too passed the FBI exam after college. He went to the Citadel and he passed the exam and everything.
Whoa.
And but they were going to place him in like New York.
Oh yeah.
And at the time they just had me, so it was like,
I got you.
Move to New York City with a newborn and not make shit, or don't. And I'm kind of glad my dad not a Fed. But anyways,
there you go.
So it worked out.
Yep.
But pretty crazy, man. agents around here.
Yep.
That's what we are.
Yeah. So, but hey, but it led us on the path where we're at now, and
Dude,
we seem to be pretty happy and kicking ass over there. So
likewise, man.
I'm following your lead over here.
Oh,
Shoot, what are you talking
get
about?
Out of here, man.
Shoot. Yeah, this is your show here. What are you talking about?
Did you play any sports growing up?
What's that?
Did you play any sports growing up?
Man, I tried all the sports growing up, to be honest. Actually, you're going to laugh. I found I was really good at volleyball. So I played volleyball, but I played football and baseball and all that. And actually,
you wear the shorts and everything?
Yeah. Thankfully, I didn't have to at that time, to be honest. Yeah. I really got into martial arts, actually, when I was younger. And ended up taking third in the nationals. I did Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, and Muay Thai.
Nice.
And I missed the junior Olympic team by one spot.
Wow.
Yeah, there were, I think it was like 55 people in our weight class, and I was also much young. I was 13, but in our age class, excuse me. And the first place was guaranteed on the Olympic team, the junior Olympic team. Mm-hmm. Second place was the runner-up, and then third was nothing. Yeah, I mean, you got the medal, and it was down to me and the other guy for second or third place, and he kicked me square in the face, knocked me on my ass, and then I was out, so I took third.
So what competition was that? Like what what were you competing in?
That was the freestyle fight.
Freestyle.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
So I made the mistake of checking in on the guy, and this dude was so fast, and I checked in, and he just threw up his leg, pow! I mean, right smack in the face, and they gave me a standing 8 count, knocked me on my ass. I mean, he knocked me on my ass, and I got up, and they gave me a standing 8 count, and even my dad still gives me crap about that to this day. Like, you were out, but on your feet. I was like, Dad, shut up.
You were out but on your feet.
Hey, it happens, man.
Oh, yeah.
You still got in there.
Yeah, I mean, I still made it through. He didn't knock me out,
Yeah.
but it was pretty rough. I mean, it was square heel, right, bam, right there.
Yeah.
It was rough.
That's got to suck. I've been knocked out in the ring before, but I was drunk and I was in Thailand.
Oh my God.
And like a random, I was told this story, but I was in a random like bar that called a reggae bar, which is supposed to be peaceful, but they had like a kickboxing ring in there, so they'd have Thai guys like fighting professionally, and then they'd let guests get in there, and they didn't care how drunk you were.
Oh no!
So I get in there against some dude from Kazakhstan. He knocked me the square out.
Damn!
Yeah, I took it, man, and I was pissed about it, and there was this whole thing, man. But you know what? So everybody's got to get knocked out at some point.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember at that tournament. It was funny, like the final match between two guys. The dude got kicked in the face and they broke his nose. And they couldn't find any cotton balls for it, so they took 2 tampons and shoved them up his nose. No. Yeah, so he's walking around with these 2 tampons hanging out of his nose.
Nice,
I mean, well, he was bleeding all over the place. They had to stop, and they were sitting there holding him. And they were like, so they go to the lady, boom, boom, shove them up there.
She's like, I got a couple.
Yeah.
Jeez, could you imagine losing a fight and having to walk around with tampons?
Right. Yeah. Well, it was funny back then. I was like, what is that? I was a young kid. I'm like, well, I think what? And looking at it now, I'm like, oh, dude, that's tampons.
I've heard that's a thing, though.
Yeah, it worked apparently. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of absorption stuff, man. That's what they're made for. So
yeah, it sure is.
Hell yeah, dude.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Are you still doing any martial arts stuff?
I would love to. I need to get back into it. I haven't done it in a while. I tried to a couple years ago, but man, just life gets in the way sometimes.
It does, man. I got into jiu-jitsu for a while, and then it's just like the scheduling, like the time frames with what I do now. It would be absolutely impossible to make it to a jiu-jitsu class. So I work on boxing stuff. I got into bare knuckle boxing underground.
Did you really?
A few years ago.
Very cool.
Yeah. I've had a few matches just out in the woods and like down south a little further. And,
no way.
Yeah, man. Had some good bare knuckle fights, dude. I'm actually trying to get another one, but that thing we do it under, it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot of like complications there because it is underground.
Yeah.
But
I know I wouldn't want to go up against you. Damn.
Oh, get out of here, man. You got the experience, dude. But hey, we'd have a good match.
Oh God. I'm fragile. I break easy.
I feel you there. But no, man, that's been fun, and the boxing is something I can work on here by myself, Yep. Anybody can like put it's good to have a partner, but if you just like shadow box and work on your footwork and do all that stuff, I mean, that's the stuff that matters over time anyways.
Yep.
And being able to move. But yeah, martial arts is fun, man. And I want to get back into jiu-jitsu because I want to get my daughter into it. And,
hell yeah.
And I want to be able to like pursue that with her.
Yeah.
That
would be awesome.
Yeah. Because as she grows, like I can roll with her and stuff, you know, and like teach her some things. And I think it'd be really cool.
Oh yeah.
Little journey, because I'm not going to like join the softball team with her or like whatever or,
I got you.
Or join the volleyball team, although my shorts are short enough that I wear every day.
Dude, those are epic though.
Thanks, man. That's how I roll, man.
I love it.
I'm like, what? I get on the internet and I'm like, okay, 2.5-inch inseam. What do they got for guys? You know, people are like, what?
Dude, your picture, the first picture I saw of you was the short fanny pack and holding what was the gun you were on? I'm trying to remember.
It was an AR.
AR, thank you. Yeah, I was like, that is the best promo shot I've ever seen. I actually thought about copying that at one point. I was like, I can't pull that off. There's no way.
Yeah, man, that's a good photo. I gotta replicate that nowadays. But because that was several years ago. But anyway, so we're all over the place.
That's all good.
So John,
sir,
tell us a little bit more about growing up. How was the family dynamic? You're still really close with everybody there? Or?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, I'm the last of 5 kids, and so it's
a lot of different people.
Yeah. There's quite a gap too. Like I'm the youngest. The oldest is 18 years older than me. So
oh shit.
Right when I was born, my oldest sister Jill was kind of on her way out, type thing. So didn't really grow up much with her, but the other siblings I did, and. Yeah, there was a lot of fighting, a lot of beating each other up.
Yeah.
I mean,
so your parents had you, and they were like, well, I guess we're going to have another one.
Yeah, right. I'm convinced I was the oops, because the next one up is like 8 years. So my sister. But at least thankfully, older siblings, they may beat the crap out of you, but they're the first ones there for you. You know what you need. So,
yeah, without a doubt, man. I get that. Is your family still around here, or is it just you now?
We're kind of all over. Well, one of my brothers is here. The other brother is here somewhere. He's kind of out doing his own thing right now. I haven't seen him in a minute, but one sister in Florida, the other sister in New Mexico. So
nice, dude. Spread all over.
Yep, all over the place.
That's how it is. Now, do you have any kids?
I do not.
You don't?
No, I don't have any kids.
No.
So
okay.
I was stepdad at one point in a former life. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But not anymore. Life changes on you, throws you curveballs.
Hey man, that's the beauty in it too. I mean, do you want to talk about that at all or no?
That's all right. That one's a little bit of a touchy subject to be perfectly honest. But, I mean, it's everybody has skeletons in their closet, but when they come out in certain situations, especially in a marriage, then they can be very detrimental.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I've talked about it. I've avoided a couple marriages.
Yeah.
I've been engaged a couple times before, and
I got you.
And then I could foresee my future.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no.
Yeah.
This is just going to turn into something.
Yeah.
Detrimental.
No.
So,
I'd like to look at it as an unfortunate learning lesson. Not unfortunate, but you know what I mean. Like you try and take the positives from it, what learn not to do. And that was years ago. I am seeing a wonderful woman now. Hi, Jen. I know she's going to listen to this, but and she's really helped me on a lot of things. And her and I, we go to church together. We do pretty much everything together. And so definitely wonderful. Better half.
So it comes around full circle, man.
It does.
And a lot of people lose hope on that. I think they're just like, man, this person sucked. That person sucked. I mean, after my last relationship, I was like, well, I want a kid. So I was like, how much is surrogacy? I was actually Googling it. And I was like, I might just have to get a kid and not deal with a woman. And then I met Lydia and I was like, oh, I could spend the rest of my life with her. I knew it just like that. So it just kind of worked out.
Perfect.
And it was unexpected, so that's the beauty in it. So after college, what was after that, man?
Man, actually, I graduated. I served tables all through college, and
you're going to do the FBI, and then
and actually, the way I got into the internet thing was one of my regulars used to come in that I waited table when I waited tables at Chop House back in the day in O'Charlie's. When Chop House first opened. That was my last serving. I worked there for a few months before I left, but drove a real nice car. Used to flash around a lot of money, that sort of stuff. And I was like, man, what do you do? Just tell me what you do. And he went from the mortgage industry into this, quote, internet stuff. And I was like, well, let me follow you one day. I want to see what you do. And I had always had kind of a curiosity about internet stuff in general. I thought it was really cool, the fact that you could do something from your computer and hit thousands of people, if not millions,
Yeah.
And so he had an idea for, him and another guy had an idea for an internet startup. And I was like, man, let me in on this, And so they actually did. And that was kind of the start of that. But the startup did really well for quite a while, but then also when, kind of like I said, when everybody has skeletons in their closet, like when we started making really good money, certain things started happening, and I was like, I don't agree with this. Money started disappearing, different things like that. And so I was like, I don't agree with this. Either we fix this or I'm out on my own, and I just ended up going out on my own.
So you just didn't align with things morally, pretty much.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, all right, you're going this way, I'm going this way, and so that's what got me started with Murphysboro.com. I met the gentleman who owned it, and he was nice enough to sell it to me.
What was the timeline of this? So you met this guy. How old are you now?
Well, I'll be 41 on Friday.
Nice, dude.
Hey, happy early birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
There you go. So you got into thing about what time?
That was right after college. I had just graduated, And I was looking into the whole route with FBI, and then we get this job, yada, yada. And then I ended up following him around, and then we started all the internet stuff, quote unquote. Yeah. And then, there was a lot to it other than that, but that was
black market dealings.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
That's it. Hey,
the dark web.
Yeah, the dark web.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. You ever look at that?
Nuts.
It's pretty nuts.
Pretty nuts.
The stuff you can get on there.
Yeah.
Ooh, crazy.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah. But I got a whole shipment coming. Just kidding.
Joking. Do I? I run one of those.
Right. Yeah.
But what were you guys doing with the internet? Like, are you talking about like selling ads? Are you talking about like?
Well, it was actually before the days of social media. And so what we had a platform for kind of like what we do with Murfreesboro.com, but it was we were licensing out the sites all over the place. And so we had at one point 800 websites, and we were licensing them out in different cities. And so it started doing really well. But like I said, just the path diverged, pretty quickly, and was like, okay, I'm going to go do this. But I had met the gentleman who owned Murfreesboro.com well before that. But there was a conflict of interest, and so I couldn't pursue it because I had this other stuff going.
Yeah.
But once that happened, I turned around and approached him and said, "How about you sell it to me?" And he agreed and bought it, and there you go.
That's the thing. It's one thing I thought about. Right, like obviously you can get say I brought a business partner on, like you can grow a little bit faster and whatnot. But as soon as you do that though, like. There may come that time to where you've got to make a tough decision.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And I'm just like, I'm just gonna bust my balls and just go at it solo-ish, right? I couldn't do it without all the people that are part of it.
Oh yeah,
ultimately, right? Yeah. But as far as that goes, it's just like I want to avoid those situations.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, I'm a firm believer on joining hands and reaching a goal together. But you join hands and like you got your thing, I got my thing. If we have a mutual goal and we're gonna work towards it, great. But maybe not necessarily. If a partnership is to form, it's going to be down the road, So
you got to get to know the individual too. Yeah, man. It's like the McDonald's story. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but
I have seen.
I've heard it's really good. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, dude. McDonald's, man. Once you watch it, you're like, dude, this guy sucks.
I know, he screwed everybody. What the hell?
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But just interesting. It's a pretty evil company.
I have heard before that their business is not burgers; it's real estate.
I've heard that too. Yeah, but they're in the McDonald's. It's the world's largest landholder.
Yeah, basically. Something like that. It's like, which is you never would think.
Yeah,
like that's what it's their business is like real estate. What they mean by that is that they have so many of them that they own so much real estate. It's nuts. Like
I don't know all the details, but something like they buy the land and then they lease it or something. Yeah, so they own
interesting stuff.
With their fake meats or fake burgers. Anyways, we can go down that road, but not this time.
Not this time.
That's a late night episode.
What's in the McDonald's food, dude? Tell me.
After dark.
You need to do an after dark episode.
Well, we were talking about doing like an after hours. We did
do one.
We did do one in. It got a little out of hand.
It was a little much. It was a little much.
It was a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, no. It was like 4 hours long, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Dang.
And people were getting up. It was just like, Jesus, what do we do?
I had to get picked up by my fiance.
What did we get into?
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a good time, though. That's the cool thing about having this space, though. You can just kind of enjoy it like that and do whatever.
Yeah. We want to do episodes, and I don't know. We got an excursion for work. We're going to wrap it, and it's right out here, but it's got a little lift, some big tires, but I want to put one of those cameras on the front, and because you can fit like 9 people in the back of those things, and do like a road version or something, and just kind of let it go. I bet that'd get kind of crazy.
That'd be pretty cool. It'd be fun though.
It would be.
You never know what's going to happen too.
True.
It'd be nuts. Don't you have like a monster truck?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, that was a joke for a long time that just happened to come to fruition one day, and Charlie Swanson. Swanson, he does Charlie's Custom Creations. He builds hot rods and stuff here in town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he, buddy of mine from a long time ago, and we had talked about getting a monster truck and wrapping it for, exposure purposes. And he just called me up one day. He said, "Were you serious about that?" And I said, "Well, I guess if one presented itself." He said, "Go down to Shelbyville and go down to the square down there." And he said, "Take a left. There's a dealership on the right, and you can't miss it. It's towering in the back. You can't miss it." I said, "All right, sure." So we took away and drove out there. Sure enough, come up on this dealership, and there's just this truck just sitting a whole head above every other car out there. I was like, "Oh, damn." And so, long story short, we ended up buying it.
He's like, "Screw it, I'm doing it."
Yeah. Well, screw it. I went in there and spoke. The guy that ran the dealer, he didn't speak English very well. Hispanic dude, real nice. But I pretended I didn't understand like what he was saying.
Yeah.
And I said, I said, 6,000 for the truck? That's all you want? 6,000? I mean, mind you, this is a big truck lifted and the suspension alone is worth that. And like 6,000? He goes, no. And he's going, I said, all right, well, I'll give you cash if it's 6,000. He goes, no, wait. Cash? And I said, yeah. Okay. I was like, I got that truck for $6,000.
Nice, dude. What a steal.
Yeah, the tires, awesome. The suspension's worth that. The tires, we got new tires for it, but the tires were like $1,000 a piece. You know?
Yeah, because they're like what size? Like
those are 44s, Super Swampers, but I mean, they're huge.
I thought my 37s were big on my truck. And so I've seen your truck around, obviously, and it's cool but it sticks out, you know. And like with what you do, it's cool to be seen.
Yeah, it's fun.
With that, I like having a big truck. Obviously, it's not out there because I ran into somebody a week ago.
Oh, damn.
About 2 weeks ago. On my way here.
That's right. You told me.
It's like 4:45 in the morning. I nailed somebody. I'm like, it was stupid. And then, so it's down at the mechanic, like right over here. And,
I got you.
But problem with that is like they can't get the parts because they're on strike.
Oh, right.
So
I
don't know how long I'll be waiting. Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. But, but you see that truck, man. It's just like, Murphys.com's here.
I love it, man. I get more people reach out to us about taking it to their kids' birthdays and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Man, I do that. People all the time, what do you charge? I'm like, just give me a piece of birthday cake. You know,
that's so funny.
And seeing the kids and all that, that's half the fun. And
yeah, man, interacting and you're connecting with people.
Oh, yeah.
And because you didn't charge, it's like gives you like a more raw connection as well.
Oh, yeah. And people love it. And plus, I mean, you know, in all honesty, I mean, they take 1,000 pictures of their kids with it. Next thing you know, it's all over social media. And
smart.
I'm like, well, I mean, that's just a byproduct. You know, I like to do it for the kids. It's fun.
But you're just there for the cake.
Yeah, just give me the
That'd be me. Give me like 3 slices.
That's right. Red velvet cheesecake. Thank you for everybody watching.
Do whatever you want for the truck. Do whatever you want.
I'm a sweets addict, so
you and me both, man.
Really?
World's worst sweet tooth.
Man, I'm pretty bad.
Yeah.
Lydia made me and my boy like key lime pies.
Yeah.
The other night, and we were just like, he and I were just sitting there, just like eating the heck out of them, man.
Key lime pie.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to become a thing.
I'm gonna text you randomly.
So
you got
you
a key lime pie? I'm gonna come over.
Speaking of tattoos, he's got a slice on his knee.
What? Do you really?
Key lime pie slice.
Yeah, bro.
You really do like key lime pie, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, it's in my blood. Key lime pie king is going to be a thing. I'm just throwing that out there.
Dude, that's hell yeah.
It's a project. It's a project I'm working on.
Is that like a branch of Liver King or something?
Yeah, but this is more. This is what our ancestors actually. Like this is where I think he's giving the wrong message because everybody's like, oh, it's liver and stuff like that.
Meats and stuff. It's like, no, it's key lime pie.
It's really key lime pie.
Yeah, but it's really key lime pie. They just survived off of that.
That's hilarious.
But I can get in that another time. But,
I love it. That's
sweets
awesome.
all day. But you're a pretty big dude. So have you competed or bodybuilded? You talked about, I'm curious about that because obviously you're in the gym a bunch. But what do you do now with that? And have you had like a bunch of injuries along the way?
Oh my God. Yeah. I tried at one point. I really got into bodybuilding when I was younger in my 20s. It's so long ago, it feels like, but yeah, actually I know you said you're Brandon up there on the wall. Used to work out with him at college at MTSU a few times at the rec center, but, obviously I'm never got on his level, but, I tried at one point. I was going to compete, but, I never felt I was big enough at one point. I'm just under 6'3" or so, something like that. And I got up to about 300 pounds at my biggest. And but at that point, just walking up the stairs, and lose your breath, like I can't breathe. Bending over, tie your shoe. You're like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
But so I just never, I would go through the bulking phases and slimming phases and all that stuff, and I just never felt I was big enough, really, to be honest. And I just on a personal level, I didn't want to go do the physique. I wanted to do the bodybuilding. You know, and so. Slimming down to 220, 230 pounds, but at 6'2", 6'3", wasn't really that big. You know? So I went through those phases for about 10 years. I would bulk up, diet down, bulk up, diet down. I got pictures in here somewhere if you want to see them. But so I had friends that competed, and I would diet with them. Mm-hmm. And then when it came time to step on stage, I would always back out. I was like,
well, and at the end of the day, there's a genetic aspect to it, man.
Totally.
Brandon's got a gift.
Yes, he does.
And he talks about it. Like, and most of those guys at that level, we'll admit that. Like, they have this genetic gift to do more with less too. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty, it's just fascinating. But some people are just built different, but we can push as hard as we can. I think we just got to be happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, man, you did it. You got the experience.
I tried. I've been there and tried it. But, I dieted down with him. We got real lean and did a photo shoot one time so I could at least document it. But other than that, I never competed.
Yeah.
Wanted to this day, wish I did, but yeah.
What about injuries along the way? I know you were just telling me you had like a pretty bad water skiing accident, but
God,
you said there were some other ones that are pretty gnarly too.
Well, we've torn all kinds of stuff. And why is it you tear muscles when you do stuff that you've done 10,000 times? It's like I wasn't maxing out. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was deadlifting, but it's stuff I've done many times. And then next thing you know, your arm pops all the way down. You're like, oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, tore both triceps, both sides, tore both pecs.
Oh my God.
The water skiing accident tore my leg, and that was brutal. But yeah. So now I just want to stay healthy.
You tore both pecs and both triceps doing a deadlift?
Well, at different times, actually. Well, one was they were opposite sides, actually. It was right pec and left tricep doing a deadlift. Well, it was pretty, okay, it was 500 pounds, but we would do.
This stuff I do all the time.
Well, we were doing sets of five sets of 5 with 500 pounds.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. And I just went down and I touched the ground and would come back up. But when you get heavy like that, you try and reset. Don't just go right into it, at least for me. Yeah. And I picked it up and I was like, man, I feel good. And I just went down, touched the ground and came back up. And as soon as I did, my whole left side just dropped.
Isn't that crazy?
I heard this pop and this noise, and my buddy that was with me goes, I heard that. Come here. I was like, you heard it? Oh, damn. Said it sounded like a bag of chips, like crumpling.
Nice.
And I was like, crap. I was like, oh, damn. So my whole arm was down like this, and it bruised. Oh, it was ugly. Yep. And then actually, instead of a deadlift, it was bench press on the next one. Did the other side. And so, man, yeah, it was nuts.
I've been fortunate enough to avoid those kinds of injuries during lifting. But I mean, I do, I thought I tore my ACL the other day just by walking in the bumper of the car, I did. That's the stuff that hurts, jacks me up. You know what I'm saying?
Joke.
So,
shoot, yeah. It's always the small stuff piss you off. So.
Yeah, it is, man. I'm no stranger to injuries though, man. It's just kind of part of it. A lot of people let it set them back so much and they get in their mind and you're like, oh, screw it. But man, it's just a reason to keep going forward. Oh yeah. And the less you move, the more prone you are to those things, regardless. So this episode is brought to you by Relentless Pursuit. Check us out at relentlesspursuitlifestyle.com for all the apparel, training here in Murfreesboro, online training, podcast channels, all the good stuff. Also check us out on Instagram at relentless_pursuit and at relentless_pursuit HQ. And I think that should be it. But yeah, check us out on social media. Give us a follow. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast. Let's get this out there. Thank you.
All right. And I run murfreesboro.com. My name's John, but don't focus on me. Focus on Joe, what he's doing, because everything he said, they're doing wonderful things here. Check out their apparel. They got a really cool setup here. Your podcast is awesome. I watched all those episodes. You guys are doing wonderful things.
Thanks, man.
There's so many podcasts and YouTube channels, all this stuff out there. But Relentless Pursuit, that just sticks in your brain, rolls off the tongue, and like you're doing good things. I love it. I mean, as soon as I heard the name, I was like, Relentless Pursuit of happiness, of whatever. You can add whatever you want to it. Yeah. But it's such a cool. I love it.
Well, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, it does, and it applies to everything in life. That's what I try to get at. A lot of people look at it as like a fitness brand, but it's not. I'm trying to like create more with that because obviously fitness is a huge part of my life.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I train and all that, but like, man, I apply it to like, my relationship, my, how I father my daughter, my spiritual path, everything in between, man, it's all a relentless pursuit, And
I love it.
And so if you look at every aspect of life like that, you're just going to be your best version of yourself in all those ways. And so when the name, there's a lot of intention behind that, but the logo has a shit ton of intention. Mm-hmm. So I just, went all in.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
I wish I had some of your like online skills though.
Oh, shoot, I'm just a nerd, that's all.
Yeah, I need to be like more nerd.
I'm learning with pride,
I need to be more nerd.
More nerd, that's right.
Well, it's like making the Canva flyers. I was like, dude, I can't do that. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
No. And like I had been paying somebody a while back to do a lot of stuff, but then I got on there and I'm like, dude, I can create some really good looking flyers all by myself.
There you go. All
Takes a little bit of time, but I'm like, shit, I got this. So just kind of learning little things on the way, and like I'm going to get better at the online aspect of it all. But I think that's part of like wearing all the hats because it forces you to improve everything.
Yeah. Well, how do you wear all the hats, man? You do so much stuff. Like this is my first time physically here, but seeing all the stuff you got going on, how do you even do that? Like, how do you manage? Do you sleep?
And a lot less.
Right.
So, I'll take you through like a rundown of the day, right? Like I wake up at 4 a.m.
Okay.
I get ready, in that time span. I get here just before 5.
Damn.
I typically have clients at 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 maybe even 10 o'clock. So I spend a lot of that time training.
Okay.
I'll move things around sometimes and train at different times of the day with people every once in a while. And so with all that being said, like, so the first half of my day is training.
Yeah.
Or a good majority of it, which is great. I love it. I love my clients, but it takes away from all the other parts of the brand's growth, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of time to dedicate there. And in the midst, I try to squeeze in like an ice bath session almost every day.
Oh, do you?
So like
Okay.
if I got like sometimes I'll finish with a client, 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I got time to get an ice bath real quick and
you
get
go.
to this next client. So I always try to squeeze things in like that, which is very important just for personal growth, mental growth. I mean, and it helps with the stress. It really does.
I've never done an ice bath before. I need to do one.
We're gonna get you in there. That's next, dude. Let's get this on. Let's bring the cameras.
Right.
It's going to be on the
Actually,
podcast.
we should probably do that. That'd be fun, actually.
I mean, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't have anybody, we'll see.
Okay.
I'm
That'd
down
be
with
fun.
it. Yeah.
That'd be fun. Watch me.
Oh, yeah.
Bless. Now the camera's going. I can't wuss out.
Yeah, now you got the pressure, man.
Right?
Hell yeah.
Do they really do, like, I've heard of people that take them like early in the morning and they're like, dude, it's like a shot of adrenaline for
That's
like
how
4
it is.
hours.
Yeah, so like I'm up so early and then I'm usually getting in there around like a little bit before 6 o'clock or but just before 7 o'clock.
Is it one of those you just got to dunk it, just go for it?
Just got to do it. Like when I get in, I sit down.
Yeah.
Like I hit my timer and I sit down. Like I'll turn all the lights off because nobody's here.
Okay.
And I have like this mantra I have play on this on my
there you go.
Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
And I chant it. But I'll just plop down. I'll hit the timer. I'll plop down and I dunk my head under.
Yeah.
And I sit back and I just close my eyes and I chant this mantra for a while. And,
Oh, man.
Try to get that minimum time every time.
Yeah.
But it's become not only like a mental thing. Obviously, you get the physical benefits, but then I got like this mental aspect to it too. But it's also a spiritual thing. It's like a meditation because I'm chanting. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So it's really cool. And but yeah, I do all that and then. And it just varies every day, but I spend a lot of time like between social media, creating posts, even creating like reels and stuff like that. Like that sucks time out. Like,
big time.
You'll be messing with a reel for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Or maybe longer if you just to get it right and stuff like that. Doing recording as often as we do, which is pretty often, not only for this, but for Patreon too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, just setting up meetings, trying to connect with individuals, sending out emails. I mean, there's a lot of that busy work that takes hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to run over here and meet this person. So working on a lot of ways to grow. And then, so there's all these different aspects of it, getting orders out, trying to work on getting a new launch done so we can keep that relatively.
You do all that yourself?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. And then I got trained, man, like training's, it's crazy because I'm doing like all these burpees, right?
Yeah. Your burpee thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
insane.
like the only reason I'm doing it though is just for myself. It's like this thing that sucks.
Yeah.
But because of that, it makes
It's pushing you.
it's pushing me,
I gotcha.
And so like something about training and getting in the gym, and even though it's 30 feet away, and like I may have an hour tops to get it done, all my stuff. I need that though. It's such a good release for me. It's like my one time I just don't have to think about anything else.
Yep.
And I just go all out and I fall in love with it, man. I don't got a competition or anything coming up. I just love pushing myself physically. And I've almost lost that, and so I don't take it for granted, but, and then being a father, Lydia works from home. And so, she's trying to do her meetings and all her stuff.
Yeah.
She's got a busy day. All right. So I need to go home. I bring Ozzy over here for a couple hours. Yeah. And I watch her, and I can't get shit done with her, man, because
of course not.
Well, because she wants to be held, but at the same time, like I look at her and I'm just like obsessed. So
of course,
that's a couple hours. So then I push things back. Yeah. So my days typically go to, 7 or 8, from 4 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. Ooh. And then I get home, I get some time with Lydia, and then I'm back and I'm in bed around 11:30.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I get up and do it again, and that's every day. So,
damn, dude, that's intense.
Yeah. So, talking about managing it, man, I think it's just one, believing in what I do and loving what I do and seeing the purpose in it and just focusing on why, and then also, and like, there's so many things that fall into purpose, right? Like just the impact we're creating, but also like looking at my little family I have.
Oh yeah.
And knowing that I'm doing it for them.
Of course.
And, there's that, man. And then, I think just understanding the fact that is part of the journey.
Yeah.
Like the greatest didn't get there overnight. Like the people that do the greatest shit had to bust their balls with very little balance in their lives in order to reach the level they've gotten to now.
Oh yeah.
So I just have to understand, like, hey man, one day I'm going to get to look back on this time of my life. And Lydia and I are going to look back together. Yeah. And be like, we rocked that shit.
Damn right.
And my daughter gets to witness it the whole way.
Yeah.
And and that says a lot. So that's how I manage, even though I go a little crazy, and that's why I'm getting back in therapy. Other than that, I just try to focus on those things, and I know it's all going to be good.
Man, therapy's good for everybody. So everybody should go to therapy. I go to therapy.
That's what I always say too.
You need a therapist.
Yeah, right.
You need a therapist.
You need one.
You need one.
Yeah.
But no, I always say that it's great to have somebody who's completely objective to talk to, because nobody in their day-to-day, in your personal life is objective, truly.
Yeah.
If you may have that person that you turn to, but that person's, if it's your mom or something, it's like, they're not going to be objective.
Yeah, right.
That's the last,
Yeah.
that's the last person.
Yeah,
the last person that's going to be objective.
Yeah.
But like a therapist will just straight up be like, hey, this is what I see.
Yeah.
And
No, I have married friends that they've been happily married for over 2 decades, but they still go to therapy once a month because they just, like you said, they like that intermediate, the third person that's not going to judge them on either way or whatever, but be that ear to listen to them. Yeah. And they go every month regardless. And they're like, no, we're totally fine and happy. We just go.
And it's probably because they do that though, and they're intentional about and then that's what it comes down to in a relationship is just intention.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they're in a nutshell, that's kind of how I manage it and all I've got going on. And, I wouldn't change it for anything. It's a lot of work, but.
So are you like Joe the Machine Adams? Is that what it is? Or like, cause you sound like a machine. You just go, 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 go.
Nah, they just call me Sweet Pea.
So I was going to ask, how did that come about? I saw that and I was like, how did you get Sweet Pea out of there?
Man, so I'm on romance novels. I'm on like covers of romance books.
Wait, serious?
Yeah. I'm on like 60 books.
Are you? No, how did that come about?
Man, I was at a bodybuilding show with this brand I used to work with.
Hold on. I'm getting into this one. I gotta hear this.
This brand I used to work with back in like 2017, 18. And I was at a show and this guy that was there and he's like, you've got to look. Let's get in touch. And I was like, okay. And long story short, he reached out about getting in a photo shoot. And I was like, screw it, man. Like, what I got to lose? I get in good shape.
Yeah.
See what happens, make some money.
Yeah.
And so I went and did this photo shoot with my photographer, Golden, Furious Photog. He's the man.
There you go.
And man, it just like, he's ended up selling all these covers to authors and it just kind of took off from there.
No way.
So, and then I started getting invited to events. I got like invited to go on a 7-day cruise for free in like New York and Texas and kind of all over.
Whoa.
And so I've done like, a shoot a year and I'm on like 60 covers now, man. And it's just like,
that is awesome.
It's pretty wild. So I'm like, it's funny because I got a bunch of these books at the house, right? And like my friends will come visit and they'll be, ooh, yeah, because they're pretty explicit.
See, I need to find these covers and I'm going to post them and be like, follow Relentless Pursuit.
Oh yeah, man. There's like blankets out there of me and stuff. People have blankets. It's just wild. Man. It's a wild world, but man, it's a good world too because like I remember. Those people are so kind, and I like being a part of it because of that. They're really good people, and that are part of that community. Mm-hmm. Even though it's not necessarily my thing, it's like when I had my wreck. It was a week after an event in New York, and they did all these fundraisers. I mean, I'm telling you, these people raised like $40,000 for me in like a matter of a week.
Dang,
complete strangers.
Yeah,
and I was like, damn, man, that's was
awesome.
That really moved me.
Yeah.
Emotionally, right? I remember recording a video and posting it and I was crying. I was just so overwhelmed with gratitude.
Yeah.
And then, so like, I try to put in the effort and go to these things. Lydia's joined me at a couple events and they all love her. And like Ozzy even went to one. Nice. Them two went to Knoxville with me and met some of these people and they all love her. So, it's just a different world, but hey, it's a thing.
You ever been out in public somewhere and somebody goes, hey, wait a sec, I know you.
I was in the gas station. It's a small niche world, but also like it's broad. That makes sense.
I got you.
And I was at the gas station in Mount Juliet one time. A girl took a picture with me.
No way.
Oh yeah. I don't know who it was, but I was like, that's funny. So that's pretty funny stuff, man. But yeah. Anyway, so that's just another thing going on. But I forget what actually led to that.
I don't know.
I don't know. We were talking about the brand, and then
he was just asking about.
Oh, Sweet Pea was
Sweet Pea. Oh,
Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
And then you want to know more. So there's a book called Sweet Pea. And it's a biker book.
Okay,
so
nice.
I'm on a lot of like biker covers, and
I'm down with that.
And so there's a group I used to hang out with in Virginia. You know, like doing like the stuff, the pagan stuff I do, and these guys, hadn't caught wind of the romance novel thing yet. And I didn't bring it up.
That's not exactly something.
Somebody leave that over here.
It's not exactly something you started a conversation with.
And I was spending a lot of time out there with these guys. And I showed up to a weekend there. And this guy was like, "What's up, Sweet Pea? What's up, road captain?" And I was like, "Oh boy."
Oh, here we go.
And then it just like from then on, like everybody in that world has called me Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like I'm Tennessee Sweet Pea now, and it just stuck.
That's dude. That is awesome. I freaking love that.
It's hilarious.
So yeah, I got it on my license plate too. I was like,
"Oh, do you?"
"Yeah, it's a Sweet Pea."
Yeah.
I was like, "Screw it."
The best part about that is that's his fighting name too.
Yeah. Is it really?
Yeah, like he uses it as his fighting name.
Yeah,
so
totally.
Like, so when people like are going to fight, it's like, who the fuck is Sweet? And then this motherfucker comes
Yeah,
out,
then
and
you
you're
come
like,
out there
oh
like,
my
oh,
god,
okay.
what the hell?
Sweet Pea's a very threatening.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I was a villain, they'd be like, "Oh, it's Sweet Pea destroying the world," you know.
Oh my god.
I get it. You're messing with psychological. I got it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
got it.
Exactly.
Got to play the game.
No, because I saw on your Instagram when I was clicking through and I looked at your thing, I was like, "Sweet Pea." I'm like, all right, I got to ask about that.
Yeah, yeah, man. So
That's pretty awesome.
but yeah, man. So it's been a crazy journey, and so here
So
we
wait,
are.
you said biker stuff. You ride?
So I haven't ridden obviously in a while. So I had
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about my accident.
I don't.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah, shit.
oh shoot, this is like what created RP.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. I missed this apparently.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Elaborate
so,
on this one for me.
So you were talking earlier about telling his story, and I was like, well, we've told it. Like it's brutal, the details, but if you haven't heard it,
I apologize. I
if
missed
you haven't
that
heard
one.
it, it's
You're good.
awesome. It's
Okay.
awesome.
So back October 18th, 2018,
Okay.
I was in.
So wait, 5 years today.
Oh my god,
That's today.
is that today?
Today's
holy
18th.
shit.
Damn, son, I didn't even realize that.
Damn, dude. 5.
got
Okay. See,
chills.
now we got to hear the story.
I
now.
haven't even
So,
thought
yeah.
about it, dude. I get chills now.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
All right.
This is a
Pretty
crazy
nice.
anniversary.
Right.
Well, shout out to getting run over by a car.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Damn, man, that's crazy
nice.
to think about. I'll think about that later. But
Right, yeah.
no, you're good.
So let's put that away for a
Yeah,
second.
yeah, right, and man, it's always the day of that. It, like when I think about it, gets me in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think it's just such a powerful moment in my life, but in more beautiful ways. You know what I'm saying? Like it's actually such a powerful and impactful way.
Yeah.
But it's also like man, a day like I just really reflect because I remember everything. But damn, it's crazy. Glad
Yeah.
you brought that up though. But so yeah, October 18th, 2018, it was a nice day like this, man. Actually, about the same temperature and everything. It was a little, I remember because I lived in Hermitage at the time, and it was in the 40s. Crazy, man. It was like
it was
43
cold
this
this
morning.
morning.
I remember
Yeah, right.
it was.
Yeah.
I posted on my story. It was 43 degrees that morning
Ooh.
when I got on my bike. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Dang.
what
And so I got on my bike. I remember posting to my story. I said, "This is gonna be a bad idea," because I had to go down the interstate in 43 degree weather,
yeah.
and if you ride, you know
That's cold.
that gets pretty cold.
Yes, it does.
But I knew it was going to be a pretty day, and so hopped on my bike, headed to school. I was MTSU, and I left class to and I was cruising around. After that, for a little bit, I had some buddies flying into town, and we were just going to hang out. My buddy Kyle from high school, and then my boy Troy. We met out in Thailand, doing a little backpacking trip we did in 2017.
Yeah.
And so we were just getting back together, and I had some time before they got to the airport, so I decided to go on a joyride.
Yeah.
And I was over there. I hadn't spent much time in Murfreesboro just to go, unless I was going to school. So I was over there by Cason
Okay.
Academy,
Got it.
right at that intersection.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm going the speed limit for once. So I'm going 35, because I rode hard. You know,
no,
and
I get it.
I
I've been
always
there.
point that out. I always point out like the one time you were
Yeah,
going
the one
the
time.
speed
Yeah,
limit.
the one time I was safe. No, but so, and I had a Harley Fat Boy Low with like 17-inch
Oh,
apes
very
on
nice.
it, like old
Yeah.
school looking, all matte black. I mean, it was badass. And it'd been on a lot of trips. And so I'm coming up on that light screen, and I'm just cruising through. And then all of a sudden I look over about 30 feet to the left, and I see a car. And right when I'm getting in the intersection, and I just said, fuck.
Oh no.
I remember saying that exactly just in my head. And like everything shut off. What happened is we hit corner to corner.
Yeah.
I fishtailed into the side of her car, went to the windshield, and then it launched me exactly 90 feet is what they measured into the field across the street from the school.
Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, and I think I had landed like this, and then even the witnesses, man, were like, "Oh yeah, they were telling me they saw me go over the traffic light like that high."
Damn,
then-
dude.
God dang.
Yay.
I never heard that detail before.
Yeah, that's up there.
nuts.
It's crazy. And my bike went 100 feet down the road underneath another car. So fortunately, I didn't get stuck with the bike. I think flying away.
It might have been your saving grace
good
there,
because I would have been road rash and lodged underneath the vehicle. You know, and so, but that being said, so I'm laying there. I wake up in this field and I just I look up and I see my femur sticking out of my left leg.
Oh.
And I just put my head down. I was like, shit, man, this is not good. And I didn't feel anything, man. It was so unreal. It was like a dream. Yeah, my adrenaline must have been going crazy. As far as I was concerned, I just had a broken leg.
Yeah.
And this cop runs up, which is crazy. His name's Larry Maples, man. He was the SRO officer there.
Yeah.
And he was out of his car getting something. He heard the accident. So he ran over. And he's an ex-Marine.
Yeah.
And I think he had good knowledge about some medical stuff.
I got you.
So he runs over. Obviously, after I looked up, he had recognized that. And he was like, man, stay down. You're in a bad wreck. And I'm just like, yeah, no shit. You know?
Right.
Obviously.
You think?
Yeah, but it still was very unreal, man.
Yeah.
But I remember all this chaos. He had asked me for phone numbers. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't remember phone numbers ever. And long story short, he was like, hey, man, I called you a life flight.
Oh, God.
They're on the way. I was like, okay. And and what happened? So he had recognized that my right lung was collapsed. He could feel my chest was soft.
Oh, damn.
So he knew I needed a life flight. And I was like, shit, and I'm glad he was there. Right. Maybe someone, wouldn't have recognized that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they load me, the life flights gets there, and I got videos of the cop car, the cruisers.
Yeah.
And you can see their camera. They're pulling up through all this traffic, and you just see me laying in this field, and they're bringing up this stretcher and stuff. And long story short, they load me up in the stretcher, and I said, am I going to die or something like that? And they said, sir, we're going to try to keep that from happening. And dude, that's when it was real. That it didn't get real until then.
Yeah.
I could just feel, because I didn't feel anything. And then I just felt that full body chill you get, that flush. And I was like, fuck. And they put me on the helicopter, took off, and I looked around for a second, and then I just closed my eyes. I started thinking about my parents and stuff, my sister and my niece. And I was like, Joe, man, you can't go.
Yeah.
This,
not right now.
This could be it, And I was just like, man, I just closed my eyes and I'm like, don't die. You got this shit. And I just kind of talking myself up. And then next thing you know, I woke up in Vanderbilt ICU. And long story short, man, doctors come in. They're like, you should be dead. Every one of them.
Yeah.
And come to find out, so I had a TBI. And then I had the right collapsed lung, but I had an aortic aneurysm that was bleeding into my right lung as well.
Jesus.
And so just by that alone,
I
should be dead. And then I lacerated 6 organs.
Jesus.
Yeah, my liver, spleen, adrenal gland, kidney, all that stuff.
Oh.
Broke a few ribs. I broke my hip in 3 places. Left femur came out. Broke my right knee, tibia, fibula, crushed both ankles, all my toes, both feet, all that down there.
Whoa.
And yeah, man. And so, so I had quite the list of injuries. When I posted it, people were like, "This is no way. This is real."
Yeah.
Because I had it all typed out.
Yeah.
And but long story short, man, I spent some time in ICU in Vanderbilt, and then went to rehab. But immediately, I just recognized it as this opportunity.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is fate. I remember telling myself that, right away. I didn't feel sorry for myself at all. I was like, this is it, man. I can only grow from this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use this. And I just knew what was meant to be, man. It's in my heart, it was just this is what was meant to happen. And so, blazed through my recovery, just kept kicking ass, sharing the story, realizing, man, I'm inspiring a lot of people through this.
Yeah.
And just with the recovery and my mindset through it all. And long story short, man, I was in school at MTSU still. And I ended up finishing school there as an exercise science major. And then while I was there, came up with Relentless Pursuit. My mom actually came up with it.
There you go.
With me. And I was like, this is my Relentless Pursuit. I'm going to make it a brand. I'm going to use this story to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And it's create something that inspires people and grow that. And that's where we are.
Oh, man. I was going to say that's fantastic, but it's such a crazy story. But the ending, wow. Sorry, I'm just kind of taken back by that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's wild to think about,
Dude,
so.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I can only imagine. How long was the recovery process on something like that?
The main thing was I wasn't able to walk for 2 or 3 months.
Oh, damn.
Because the main thing was because I had broken feet, toes and stuff, and ankles. So I couldn't bear any weight.
Yeah.
I think those times were difficult. I remember I brought this story up a bunch, but I remember like being in the hospital and they had knocked me like a level or two down, and I forget, man, like I had a shit in a pan.
Oh yeah.
And then like my mom's holding me on my side, and her and my sister are wiping me. My dad's holding me on my side, and my mom and my sister are wiping me, man. And I remember just bawling my eyes out. I was like, I can't even wipe my ass. Yeah. You know, I'm not even 30 years old.
God
and
bless.
Just like those things right there, man, were really hard. Just kind of feeling helpless, but like not capable, but also those moments are what make you grateful for others.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and like truly recognizing that.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm forever grateful for them for, you know, helping me through that. And like, you know, and I had to use the restroom at like a bedside thing when I was at home and all that. And but I was in the hospital for maybe a week. Between hospital and the rehab facility here in Murfreesboro, I was like 20 something days. And then I had to go home, and I was bedbound for like a month and a half, 2 months.
Damn.
Yeah. And I think that was, you know, just trying to figure out how to like occupy myself. Like I get pushed around the neighborhood every once in a while, you know, and that was nice getting some fresh air.
Yeah.
But like, that was like the extent of my day. So you really start focusing on like how to be grateful and things to focus on and how you want to grow. And I did a lot of journaling and just reading and just all kinds of stuff and little rehab exercises. And then I went through like 50 physical therapy sessions, and here we are.
Damn, man.
You also didn't mention the puncture hole in your leg.
Oh yeah. And I did get something stabbed me, man. I got like a hole, like right underneath the area, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
And, yeah, man. It's like probably like an inch below. Luckily, I had like tighter jeans on, and it was cold outside.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
That's not funny, but it is funny. I'm sorry the way you put that.
I mean, hey, you know, it benefited me.
Right.
And because something stabbed me in the groin, man. It's pretty bad. And I lost like a few pints of blood out of that hole alone. Yeah. And that's caused.
You got a major artery right there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of nerve damage back in my right hamstring. Yeah. It's like, hasn't gone away at all, but. Dang. But yeah, man, I'm just a number of things, and I don't know. That's just kind of, a massive part of my life, and I'm very grateful for it. But that's what propelled what we're doing now. Yeah.
Well, I mean, man, that just goes to you as a person and character. I mean, like you just said, you're grateful for it. Like that experience. That's in hindsight, you look at it as an outsider looking in. That's a horrible thing that happened, but you're grateful for it because it made you what you are today and where you're at. I mean, that speaks to you as a person. That's amazing. Sorry.
No,
I love what you guys are doing here, man. This is great. Now that I know this story, I mean, that's amazing. So.
I appreciate that, man. And you know, and to go with what you were asking about, like if I ride anymore, kind of how that started. And I appreciate that big time, man. And like, that's why it is so important to me. Yeah. That's why I believe in it so much, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, but I've ridden some friends' bikes. Yeah. Since then, and it's like I hadn't skipped a beat. Yeah. But honestly, I was $1,000 away from ordering a brand new Road Glide, like decked out and everything. Yeah. Actually, Cassie, the girl, the Suicide Story, she was going to be the girl that she worked at the dealership. Really? Outside of Memphis. And so I was going through her. Yeah. And she was like, send me a down payment, send me this and we'll get it ordered. Yeah. And then I slept on it, man. And I just I reflected on, my mom getting that call and her having to bust her ass and get to the ICU and just like what was going through her head. Yeah. And,
no, you're good. You're good.
That part
it's all good, man.
Yeah, but
take your time.
Same thing with like my sister.
But you're here today.
Yeah.
And like you said,
I think I put myself in those shoes because I couldn't imagine the other way around. Yeah. And my dad being out of town in Oklahoma, having to get an emergency flight back. Yeah. And I thought about them. And I was like, man, I don't want to put them through that again. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not getting a fucking bike. Yeah.
I got you.
And that just because I put, a lot of people say, keep doing what makes you happy. Yeah. And ride made me happy for a time, but that was a chapter of my life. Yeah, right. But my family brings me much more joy than a motorcycle does. Yeah. And so that's what matters. And I'll just drive big trucks.
There you go. Yeah.
and I'm happy there, man.
Yeah, right.
And I find I have a lot of purpose and things that I enjoy. And really, I honestly don't miss riding anymore. Yeah.
Well, I think that's obvious with what you said. Like you mentioned your daughter and your face lights up, Yeah. You mentioned your wife and face lights up, I mean, it's obvious that chapter, it was a chapter, but it's back there, now you're on to better things, so.
That's the thing, man. Just like certain things are chapters, a lot of people you find out, end up just being chapters.
Right.
And every one of those closes, but like you grow throughout. So
totally.
That's the glory in it, man. That's your story.
Yeah.
When a lot of people don't make the decision that you made to give up something that you enjoy doing for the people that you love.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when I made that clip of you talking about that in Cassie's episode. That's why I put the titles to sacrificing for those you love, because that's basically what, a lot of people wouldn't have done that, even thinking about their family members. So it was a very difficult decision you had to make, but seems to be the right one.
Yeah, but you're here where you are today because of it, and look look what you're doing. I mean, you're changing people's lives. Look at that wall, like people you've spoken to, the stories you've heard, the fundraising you've done,
and I appreciate that, dude. And that's that. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. That's the relentless pursuit.
Yeah,
man. Love it.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you asking about it. I mean, and also bringing up today's 18th. Honestly, I probably would have clicked at some point. I pulled my phone up and been like, memory. Like, holy shit.
You're like, oh, damn.
That was crazy because I was thinking about the other day, and I was like, man, this few days I'll be a wreck thing. Yeah. And then like, nope, here we are.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good thing that you didn't really know that today was the day? Like, do you think?
I think it made more impact him bringing it up on the podcast because it really put me there, especially bringing up my family and stuff like that. So,
but I mean, like right after the fact, like was this day a lot harder? Like in years past, like maybe you wouldn't have been able to like sit here and have a podcast, for example.
Yeah, weird. Like last year, I had a really hard time.
Yeah.
Thought about it, but I didn't have as much going on last year. Like the space, like the first several months, like half a year was rough, man.
I gotcha.
You know, and it was just me. I had a couple clients.
Yeah.
We were just getting rolling, man. Yeah. So different places.
Growing pains. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, man.
So, I think that's something just to note that you didn't know that today was like, it wasn't something that like totally like was a vacuum into like, okay, it's a couple days, tomorrow's the day, today's, it like took up. I think that's interesting in a positive way. I think it's good that all that you
it's always going to be a part of you, but it's not consuming you.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's unfortunately a lot of people let extreme traumas consume them. Mm-hmm. But like Lydia and I talk about it, with her, what happened with her and her story.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like it's a part of her.
Yeah.
And like we talk about it, like look at what we have now. We talk about like, look, let's observe our relationship, our little family. Mm-hmm. But it wouldn't be the same had you not experienced that.
Right.
As shitty as that is, you don't wish that on anybody, but like she admits, she's like, I wouldn't be who I am for you and vice versa, right? And like those past experiences can only create positive things if you allow them. But people look at everything as bad. Yeah. And I go back to this saying right here, amor fati, it means the love of one's fate in Latin.
I did have one question for you, just based on what we were just saying. So you're talking about the closing and opening of chapters in life, all that stuff. So if Sweet Pea were to do his own cover of his own book of the chapters of his life, what would your cover be for your own book?
What I want it to be by the end?
Yeah.
Man, it'd be like, what would I want to like portray?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Oh, let's hear it. What?
Aragorn, Lord of the Rings, a story about Aragorn.
Okay, sorry, I was looking at a picture up there on the wall. I got you.
Yeah, you got the Tolkien work.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before, but that man, like the character Aragorn embodies everything I want to be. Like he's like this archetype that's extremely righteous, heroic, loyal to his woman, protective of his people. He's kind, and just all these things that he embodies is what I hope to be. That is what I want to fulfill. And I love fantasy. I'm a huge Tolkien fan. Yeah, and that's always been the embodiment of like light and righteousness and just everything I believe in. So,
very cool.
And his story's epic. Yeah. He goes on epic journeys. He does epic things. He suffers loss. He does this. Mm-hmm. He gets hurt. You think you lose him at one point in the story, you think he's dead, but no, he's back and he still ends up being king and he doesn't even want to be. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, Aragorn is like the perfect archetype. So easy question for me there.
Cool, man. You answered that like a champ. Damn. All right, cool.
Yeah, man.
You got to peek at your notes. You knew you were coming.
I was like, oh, God.
When I thought about that one, I was like, oh, I'm going to get him on this one. No, you got him.
No, true. What about you?
Yeah. Great. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, twist it or turn it right on him.
Man, I don't shoot. You got me on that one. I'd have to think about that one for a minute. The cover of my own book. I don't know. I just hope at the end when the time comes and my book closes that people just kind of view me as, he tried to make a difference. He was a good dude. All the stuff you just said basically kind of rolled up. I hope I can leave a good impact.
You want to be, you want to be an honorable man.
Yeah. And I mean, Yeah, basically, you've summed it up best, I think, with what you said. So I mean, I can't really elaborate on that because you said it best. But yeah, no, I hope that. Well, how about you, Logan? What about you? Spinning on you over there.
I would say I've actually thought about that a few days ago. Randomly, I was thinking about that and like legacy because there was this thing that I was watching, and there's it's interesting. My generation, I kind of feel like goes. Like some people say, like that's the wrong thing to focus on, and then I'm like, I think that's probably the only thing to focus on.
Yeah, I got you.
And so to me, I kind of hear that question. It's like, what would you want your kind of legacy to be?
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing. I would like to think that people that came across me said that he made me better when I was around him.
Yeah. That's a good.
That
way
I
to
was
put it.
helpful to people. And going back to that one a little bit, I've thought about that a few times before, but like, even sometimes whenever you have friends or like people in your life that you do make better, sometimes that can make friction between like a friend or something, like if you're pushing them hard or whatever. But ultimately, those people usually come back and are appreciative of that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I think that would be a good thing to always say that somebody, every time that I was around him, he made me better.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing. I'd like to. Gotta follow my own advice for myself sometimes with that one.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that and I think that I was myself. Like I think that's really important. And I think a lot of people don't
Genuine.
do that. So yeah, genuine. So wherever the chips may fall, as long as it's what I really wanted, stuff that I really believed in. And stuff that was genuine to me, I think I'm good with it.
I got you. Cool. And then like with Relentless Pursuit, like you've obviously come out swinging with this thing and you're making an impact. Like where do you see it going from here? I mean, I love your wall up there that you got with all the pictures and all the people you spoke to, but all the stories that you've shared and lives that you're changing. Like I said, the fundraising you're doing for people to help out. Like, where do you see it going?
Man, all that, but more.
But more,
right? All right. So I want to have hundreds of guests over time. More than that is, I want to keep this going and to be a massive production, and like no matter how big we get, maybe we get some more well-known guests on here, right? But at the same time, like I want just normal people that got great stories too. Like I'm not going to be like, well, you're not famous, so and because everybody's got a story. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that we've been able to highlight well is just even like the lesser-known individuals got a big story, Yeah. They're kind of like a hobbit, right?
There you
Nobody really pays much attention to hobbits, but then they end up being the hero.
Yeah, they're the hero in the end.
That's
well, it's like your last one with the I apologize, her name, I didn't get your name. Cassie. Yeah, that was an incredible story that you shared. And so, I mean, more of that stuff needs. You meet people all day. They're like, man, you need to share your story.
100%.
All the time. Yeah. And I even had a guy like, it's a Patreon member. I was like, I want to get your story for the Patreon. Yeah. And I was like, his story's no less valuable than anybody else's. I want it out there. Like screw that. So we'll do something else different with like the Patreon guests, but maybe like a Q&A thing we do. Yeah. But yeah, man, and just I want to do fundraisers, but I want to do bigger fundraisers. I want to draw crowds. Actually, Brett gave me the best idea. Oh yeah, and we're gonna do. This is gonna come, guys. So we're gonna do a fundraiser, and I'm putting it out there. Someone could steal it in Murfreesboro, but we're gonna do. Obviously, key lime pie is my thing.
There you go.
So like a RP annual key lime pie eating festival.
Oh, there you go.
That raises money for something.
Dude, you should totally do that. It's like the people that's, pardon me, I can't remember, I don't have their names off the top of my head, but they started the Bacon Festival here in Murfreesboro, and now it's on its 4th year, and it's like a huge thing. Yeah. And they just wanted to start this little bacon festival, and then poof. Yeah. Key lime pie.
Key lime pie, dude.
Why not?
And then people just bring all these
But you're not allowed to participate in the eating contest because you would win. So you gotta,
I won't participate, but I will obviously
you'll be over there.
eat. Little do they know he ate like twice the winner.
Exactly. Like, where did they all go? I don't think we had that many in the competition. You're just in the corner, just fucking throwing them down.
You know what you should do? I'm switching gears. Do you like hot stuff?
I actually don't.
Okay, never mind. All right, cool.
Lydia likes the spicy stuff.
Do,
Does it? Maybe you do?
I do. Where are you going with this?
Well, because past 2 years I've been one of the judges in the hot chicken contest, and every year they hit us up and they're like, "Hey, if you know a couple people, let us know."
That would be interested in doing it.
Dude, yeah, if you want, dude, that is brutal.
Yeah, I don't think.
It's brutal. Yeah. Jen, my better half, made the mistake of showing up just to support me. Right as we got to the hot chicken, because there's like, the best tasting chicken, the most creative chicken. Then there's the hot chicken. And she showed up and I was like, oh, we need another judge. Come on in.
Oh, no.
So we got on video of her eating it and it was,
she was dying.
Oh, dude, it's brutal.
Yeah, see, I get like medium and I'm like,
I got
like, where's the milk?
Yeah. No, this is like brutal. They're literally serving it to us with like latex gloves on.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
God.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
I wanted to touch their hands.
Dude,
It's
it's
so funny.
brutal.
That's so crazy.
So if you want that, if you want to try it.
No, negative. My sensitivity. I love that stuff, but my sensitivity as I just getting even. I just turned 28, but even just getting a little bit older, I'm like, I can't handle it.
Yeah, trust me, it gets worse as you get older. Like my mouth loves it, my stomach hates it.
Yes,
So,
and the heartburn afterwards, I'm like,
oh, dude,
it's
was
not
like,
worth it. It's really, it's not worth it to feel like shit for
the heartburn.
hours.
And I remember Jen hit me up. We were talking the next day. And this is probably TMI, sorry. She's like, you okay? And I was like, I'll give you one guess as to where I'm at. She's like, I was like, my stomach is torn up.
And then that's the worst.
Hey, man.
Oh, it was horrible.
It doesn't feel great coming back out.
It's burns going in, burns going out.
Yep.
Dude, that's funny, man.
What are we talking about?
I ate like
so
this hot
funny.
pepper one time out in Virginia. Actually, there was like this challenge for like their prospects or whatever, and they were like, there was one left over, and I was like, I don't know what it was, but I ate it, and someone was like, "Oh, Sweet Pea is handling it well," and I'm like chewing. I didn't know. I don't eat peppers.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, man, you might want to chew it up. It's just swallow it." And dude, next thing you know, man, I went through like a half a gallon of coffee creamer.
Oh my God.
Because I was just like, and the next day, I had an 8-hour drive off of like an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And like I was so pissed I couldn't even put a dip in because my mouth had like little burns all through it.
Really?
Man. Yeah. I was like,
Damn.
I put a dip in. I'm like, this sucks.
You want a funny story real quick?
Yeah.
The years and years ago, I don't know if you remember, this was when I first moved here. So there was Harvey Washbangers. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It was
I haven't.
it was over where Food off 96 and was it Northfield right there? It used to be Food Lion, and then now it's a Mexican restaurant. But anyways, right there was a place called Harvey Washbangers. One side was a laundromat, the other side was like a bar, little music place. So you could go like do your laundry and get a beer and some wings or something.
A bad concept.
Actually, yeah, right. But they had these wings. I had just moved here, and the group of friends I met, they were like, "Let's go to Harvey's and get some wings, whatever." Well, they had these wings called the release form wings. You had to sign a release form to eat them, right?
Oh shit!
And I don't know what pepper it was, but apparently they ground it up in the batter and fried it on these chicken wings. And I was like, I love hot stuff. I could do this, no problem. So they made me sign the form, and it was like, if you have heart problems, if you're a woman and you're pregnant, if you have this, that, whatever. And I was like, I'll be fine, whatever. They bring out the wings, and they just sit them in front of me, and instantly it's one of those where you sniff it, and you're like, damn. Like, so they brought some milk and some bread, wings, and some water. I was like, all right, whatever. There's 7 wings. If you eat all 7, you get your picture on the wall and all that other stuff, right? I took one wing, stripped it down. I was like, all right, cool. I went for the second one, and then it hit. And whatever pepper, I don't know, but it was insanely hot, right? Crazy
Some
hot.
kind of hybrid something.
Yeah, it was like I would start hiccuping like uncontrollably, all this sort of stuff. I'm drinking all the water and the milk and eating I ate the whole thing of bread. And I was like, no more. I was like, I'm done. Forget this. I ain't doing it. Yeah. And so I was like, man, shit, I got all this crap on. I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom, and I scrub the shit out of my hands, right? And I'm cleaning all this stuff. I go to the bathroom. Come back and sit down, and my buddy sitting across from me just starts dying laughing. And he said, I turned about as white as your shirt. And I was like, oh my God. Apparently I didn't get all the oil off my hands. And when I went to the bathroom, dude, my man parts were on
I knew it was coming.
fire.
Dude, the way you said that, I knew you touched something.
Dude,
I knew it.
I was like, oh my God. And I just doubled over. I was like, what the hell? And he's just laughing the whole time. And the server came. I was like, what's the bill? And she was like $13 or something. I put a 20 on the table. I'm out. So I drove home. And mind you, we had just moved here. So at the time I lived at home. I was just barely 18, right? And I came in the house. Thankfully, it was like 11 o'clock at night. Everybody was asleep. I went in the kitchen, and I grabbed one of the cereal bowls. I filled it with ice cold water, dropped trowel right in the middle of the kitchen, and just dunked my parts right in the water. I was like, oh God. I was like, if anybody walks out in the kitchen right now, this is ridiculous.
And I don't care.
Right. And then so I was like, oh my God. And so I took it upstairs. I was like, oh God, just whatever. So next morning I came downstairs, and the bowl was on the countertop. I put it down and then went upstairs, but it still had the water in it. Like the ice had melted. And so I dumped the water out. I was like, oop, I just threw the bowl away. I was like, I'm not going to
just throw it away.
Just throw it away.
You walk in, you see your friend like making some Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, oh, this stuff's really good. You're like, oh, okay. He's got kind of a spicy.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of almost like a
What is
buffalo taste to it. It's weird. What's going on?
That's so funny, man.
Yeah, it was horrible. Oh my God, that burned so bad. And it lasted for like the whole day. It was horrible.
Yeah,
That's bad, dude.
Trying to sleep, and you're like, oh God.
Not worth it.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so
Not worth it.
Oh, damn, there's someone who's going to ask. I mean, that's just nuts, man. I mean, it's crazy that, like, even, like, if you're pregnant, you need to be like,
oh, yeah.
It's like,
they're like,
if
to protect
you're pregnant,
this baby's
you will
life.
deliver today.
Oh, there was a big old list. It was like, if you have high blood pressure, if you have this, if you're a woman and you're pregnant, if you got this. I was like, you had to, like, check all off that was no, you know?
Well, nowadays, like, what if you're a male and you're pregnant? I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, I guess
that would be on there
times
too,
we're in.
somewhere.
Well, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah. Some people say it's possible. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a whole other topic for the podcast.
No, but so you and I want to circle back around, you know, and at the end of the day, like just to nail that, with RP, man, there's no goal. It's just the bigger the impact we can create, the better.
Yeah,
That's all I care about. As long as we're growing and creating more of an impact.
Yeah.
That's what I want this brand to be remembered for.
Very cool.
And that's just plain and simple, man, because the vision's always expanding. So I can't never really nail it down, but I just want to make a huge impact.
Oh, no, I get that.
And but back to you. I do got to ask. What is your relentless pursuit?
My relentless pursuit. Wow.
Yeah. And it can be a number of things.
Well, actually, kind of like you, I'm at a point in my life where I really enjoy helping people and doing things. And so I love, we've been blessed, luckily, you know, knock on wood, that we have this platform. We've been able to, it's been like 20 years in the making now, you know, with our following and whatnot, that we can help push things out there to help other people and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But, man, just kind of like you said, I just want to help people be a good person. You know, like the other day, saw a guy walking on the street and just stopped and was like, man, you need a ride? And turns out I got to know this guy a little bit and his story and gave him a ride to where he was going. But, you know, even small things, just want to make an impact on something, make somebody else's day better.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. That's a real big push for me. And Jen, I've referred to her several times now. She really helps me with that. And so
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, she has such a good heart and a good soul for people trying to help. And, you know, she makes me want to do better as well. So
that's good, man. And it's good when like you're like the person you're with is on that kind of same path, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it reminds me of Lydia and I've been having this talk, and you know, she's got her job, but she wants to do something. After telling her story, she got so much feedback. People reaching out to her from all over.
Yeah.
And now she's got an opportunity to go speak to some people in like some small group settings and share her story.
Wow, no kidding.
And I'm like, babe, that's awesome. She's like, how do I tell it all? I was like, well, you told it all on the podcast in the world. She's like, I don't have 2 hours. And I was like, well, you can condense it.
Yeah, right.
But I was like, you got this shit. And I said, that's a step in the right direction. Like you've had an impact, and now here's an opportunity that was created just from that for you to create more of an impact on people one-on-one. And I think that's awesome. I mean, it just fires me up for it. I love seeing that. And that energy we both share as far as creating an impact together is just only going to take us so far.
Oh, yeah.
And I told her, I was like, how amazing would it be? We just build our business and our life off of helping people.
Right.
And think of what that does for our daughter and so on.
Exactly. That's a hell of an example for your daughter, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's beautiful to think about that, man.
Yeah.
So, and I think you're headed in the right direction, man. I think.
Thank you. Trying.
You know, you just being on here is a big deal to me. I mean, you know.
Shoot, me being on here is a big deal. You guys are the big wigs here. I'm trying to copy you guys.
Hey, man. They were helping each other, dude. Yeah. That's the glory in it, man. It's not just this, you know, I don't know. It's an even exchange. I look at
I get
it,
what
man.
You're saying. Yeah.
And I think this is only beginning, too.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm really stoked to see what lies ahead. Not only for you but for all of us, man. And, and we're gonna crush it, dude.
Yeah, I have a feeling this isn't the first time, this isn't the last time that we're gonna end up doing something together, especially with like your fundraising and all your stuff that you do. I mean, we love to help with that stuff. So
no, we got to keep it rolling.
That's right.
Yeah, we're on the right path.
That's right.
You got anything else for me?
No, man. I just enjoyed coming on here and kind of just. Like you said, we just raw shooting the shit type stuff. This is good. I liked it.
It's good, man. It's like it's always one of my favorite things. Like I've had guests on here that I've known for some time, but it's always really cool coming into a situation where like I don't know anything about this person really. Yeah. Besides like maybe what I see on social media. Yep. And then you're getting to know this person throughout. And that's it. You build a really cool relationship and you're like sharing, you know, that connection with everybody. So it's pretty neat. Yeah. But well, John, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Meant a lot to have you, man. If there's anything we can do for you, you know, we got you.
Well, I appreciate it. Vice versa. Thank you.
Appreciate that big time. Logan, you got anything?
I think, no. I don't know.
Cool.
I think that's good.
We're good to go.
All right, guys.
You wrapped it up pretty nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you guys for checking this out. Until next time.
See ya.
All right. Dude, I really enjoyed that one.